Welcome to the Virginia Values Veterans Program. I'm Andy Schwartz with the Virginia Department of Veteran Services. Joining me is Mr. Allen Fryman, the Virginia Transition Assistance Program, or VTap, manager. Mr. Fryman is a veteran of the United States Army, serving on active duty for 5 years and another 5 years in the United States Army Reserve. Allen now works with veterans and transitioning service members, connecting them with workforce opportunities here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Allen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Allen, tell us a little bit about VTap and why it's so important to have transition assistance resources at the local level.
Sure. So VTap is a program designed to connect veterans and transitioning service members here in Virginia with opportunities in education, entrepreneurship, and employment within Virginia. And it's important to have that local level help for the transition service members in their communities because there's so many resources around their installation outside the gate that they probably weren't aware of that are much more able to help them in their transition out, whether it be entrepreneurship, education, or a pipeline into a new career. And we also try to funnel that with the labor shortage we have here across Virginia in certain areas of the Commonwealth, Hampton Roads with labor, the trades, and Northern Virginia IT. So we're really focused on channeling all these veterans with their talents into our V3 companies.
Right, and every transitioning service member goes through a transition assistance program while they're in the Department of Defense. But given that training, there are still some challenges. What are some of the challenges, the most frequent challenges that these military men and women face either prior to or after getting out of the military? I
think prior to, the big challenge they have is lack of planning. When I got out, it was a big challenge for me. So I recommend plan for your transition before you even know you're transitioning out is a good rule of thumb. But no less than 12 to 18 months before you separate should be your target area to begin your plan of what you're going to do as you exit the service. Once people exit out of the service, another problem tends to pop up. They don't have a robust professional network built up outside the military. And I tell people this all the time. That was my #1 hindrance coming out, is I knew everybody in the military, it seemed, but I didn't know anybody on the outside, which is not useful when you're getting out. So those are two things, preparation and networking as you exit the military.
Speaking for myself, I think I can agree with you. A lack of a professional network was certainly posed a challenge finding civilian employment. How does the VTap program interact with the V3 program? You mentioned V3 employers. What do these transitioning service members, what kind of talent do they bring to our V3 employers?
A tremendous amount of talent, and it's a talent that's widespread across all the labor industries too. And how we interact with the V3 companies is we have an event called a VTap recruiting event in which we feature a dozen or so V3 employers to participate in an event which gets them connected to the military talent they're looking for. And it's separate, has a different look than a typical job fair. First of all, the companies receive information, the resumes from the veterans at a time, and the veterans receive information from the participating employers at a time. But the real difference is event day. The event is set up kind of like a speed recruiting event. You have 12 tables representing one for each company, and you have 5 to 7 veterans at each table. And at time intervals, the employers rotate from table to table instead of the veterans rotating from place to place. So it's much more organized, and it produces a lot more one-on-one, small group discussion about what that veteran can bring to that company and what that company can offer for that veteran. Right now, we have a 90% success rate, meaning that 90% of the attendees that come out of this event feel like they have at least one solid lead in employment. That's one lead they didn't have coming into the event, so that's a win for us. Now,
Allen, how can veterans find out more about the VTap program and connect with you?
They can find out more if they would like to dial me directly, 804-396-5731, or they can go to the DVS website, dvs.virginia.gov, and click on the Veterans and Training tab at the top of the page.
Thank you very much, Allen, for joining us, and thank you for watching the V3 program. To learn more about the VTap program, go to dvsv3.com.